because Borderlands is
Prime did better than
yeah.
Borderlands. No way.
Actually, no, oh my god, Morbius made money. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Two Buds One Podcast, episode 25. I am your host, the Techno Jelly, and with me today is my co-host, Alchem Games. I almost said co-host for me again. I don't know why. I always want to say co-host for both of us for something, because we are technically both co-hosts, but we're also technically both hosts. Now I'm confusing myself, so I'm just going to move on. How are you today, Alchem?
Still wrecking my brain on that one, but yeah, I'm doing all right.
I confused myself. I'm confused.
Just a hectic weekend, but I'm doing okay.
Yeah, so today I have actually a very wide range of stories. Today was this week was...
Are they good stories or are they sad, hurt my soul stories?
They're... I don't think they're hurt my soul stories. Okay, I'll give you this safeguard, Alchem. I promise. 3 letters and a single word will not be uttered today. There's no there's none of that stuff. I won't even mention it, but there's none of that, I promise.
Does it involve someone whose online persona name starts with Mr.?
Well, there's none of that, but I was also talking about other things that is also
I know what you're...
that
okay.
Yeah. So so today I think we're gonna start with a story that's technically gaming, but not gaming, because it's a world record, but it's a very I guess, depending on your point of view, sad, but I find it hilarious because I don't know why anyone else thought it would be anything else. Because the Borderlands movie is on record to be the worst performing movie ever. It is set to lose over $100 million in its opening day. It needs to make 200 to 300 million to be a flop. It has made less than 20 million on its opening weekend. No, not profit. Not profit. 230, 300 million to be not a flop. So that's like not even, that's a breaking even.
Yeah. I'm honest. Okay. I am not surprised that this movie was going to tank.
I'm not surprised.
I saw the writing on the wall. Clearly everyone saw the writing on the wall.
Everyone. I mean, like,
I
didn't even know it was coming out. I thought it was coming out next year, and then all of a sudden it was out.
See, I knew it was coming out. I knew it was coming out soon when they made the announcement way back when, and when they showed the cast. When they mentioned the cast, 2 names already told me that they did not give a damn about the story. When I saw Roland. And for those of you who do know Borderlands, you know how important Roland is, and you know how much of a badass he is. He's supposed to be like in a movie sense, he would be the leader, or he'd be the guy who
he's the main character.
Yeah.
Even in the Borderlands,
he would get the team together.
Yeah, even in the Borderlands stories themselves, like in the games, he's basically the main character.
Yeah, in the movie, he would be the male lead.
Yeah.
They put Kevin Hart for that. Kevin Hart, who is reputedly in Hollywood, at least in movies, been rolled as the funny guy, the comedic fall guy. Even I still remember him being the joke character in almost every movie he's ever been in, except for like maybe a few serious things, but they're like family drama stuff. But I don't think in any action movie I've ever seen him be a good serious role.
I mean, it's not even that he's not even like a bad actor. It's just like Roland isn't a funny character. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen Roland. Has Roland ever made a joke? Honestly,
if anything, he is like comedy wise. He is what is known as the straight man in a comedy.
He is definitely the straight man. Like he is
supposed to be the straight man in a sea of insanity, which is the entire Pandora world.
Yeah.
Like there's only a few others who are like serious. Which would be Lilith, which would be Lilith and maybe Tannis when she's not going insane.
No, Tannis isn't serious. She's smart and like she's smart, but she's still
smart,
crazy.
condescending asshole who doesn't give a shit about anyone but her own research, and that's what makes her so good. That's what makes her character
like arguably. Roland is like really the only really serious character, and what's her face?
Lilith is the only other serious. Yeah.
Lilith is more serious, but like she still has a lot of jokes with her, and like
and Lilith was cast as fucking Jamie Lee Curtis.
Honestly, one of these things is I don't really know actors. I mean, this is where I think I don't really watch movies, so I don't know many of these people. Well, I knew Kevin Hart, but that's because I knew him because he was a comedian, not because of an actor. I'm pretty sure. And that's what I'm thinking. Jamie Lee
Curtis she's a well-renowned actor. She's a well-renowned actor, and so she's done quite a few voice acting roles and acting roles herself. But Lilith is from what I remember, she's like around her 20s or so. Jamie Lee Curtis is pushing 50. And she looks it. No offense to her. No offense to her at all. But
I mean, even in the screenshots that I've seen of the movie, she looks good, but she doesn't look like Lilith.
She doesn't at all. She doesn't even play like. Apparently, from what people, I didn't even bother watching it. I've seen people's reviews and people say she doesn't act. She doesn't act like Lilith. The characters don't act like their characters.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things is I saw a comparison of is Roland in the movie. Kevin Hart isn't tall. Like, he's not tall. And Roland is like, he's supposed to be the soldier guy. So he's like in the game, like he towers over everyone basically. But in the movie, Kevin Hart is as tall as what's her face? Tiny Tina, who's a child, and they're like the same height in the movie, which is hilarious. When I saw that, I'm like, oh my god, these people not only never played the games, they don't know anything about Borderlands.
No,
I mean, to be fair, another thing, I don't know about how you feel about this, Alchem, but when we first heard about the Borderlands movie, I thought I was never gonna watch it to begin with, but like, the last thing I think about in Borderlands is good story and writing. Like, Borderlands writing is awful. It's just bad.
I had high hopes as shut your brain off and enjoy movie.
That's what I had.
Grab your popcorn, munch away, see funny scenes, see over the top action, laugh. Once I saw the cast, I was like, oh, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about they don't give a shit about source material, even though the source material is like it's supposed to be top. Goofy.
Yeah, it's over the top,
and yet somehow they didn't do it right.
Yeah, I mean, like I was like at best I was expecting like a Pacific Rim, like the first Pacific Rim, because that is a kind of that's a dumb movie, but man, is it like cool to look at things in that movie. Yeah, that's kind of like it's definitely but like it's just so funny to me.
Hilarity on the internet, at least in the internet space, everyone's going crazy for. No one's mentioning this movie besides how bad it is.
Oh yeah, it's just
more people are going wild for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh yeah, well, I mean Deadpool and Wolverine. Well, that's also because it's the highest grossing 18+ movie ever. Again, beating Deadpool. It beat it like Deadpool was the highest grossing, and then Deadpool 2 was like very close, and then Deadpool 3 is now once again the highest grossing 18+ or R-rated movie, sorry. But yeah, so like the Borderlands movie sucks apparently, which I don't know why anyone was surprised and or shocked. I mean,
I've seen videos of people posting empty movie theaters where it's playing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, that's gotta
I wonder. Okay, wait. Here's the real question though, Alchem. What was that vampire movie that flopped really hard? I know the memes. I know the memes. Like the Morbin. The Morbin. Morbius. How much money? How much money did Morbius make?
Probably a bit more because they put it out twice.
Morbius. Morbius the film. How much money did this one make? To be fair, it's also been longer, but like, let's see, box office, 167 million. Wow. If that's true, then like Morbius did, because Borderlands
did better than Borderlands. Yeah. No way.
Actually, no. Oh my god, Morbius made money. Wait, this can't be right then. The box office.
Oh my god. We have to wait for the weekend box offices to finish for Borderlands, but honestly, from what everyone's been reporting, it doesn't look good at all.
It doesn't look good.
People are also claiming, like I've seen a couple of content creators stuff who talked about it. They who went to see it. They're saying it feels like the scripting is generic, and some of them even say like, I know Moist Critical mentioned it. He feels like it's actually AI written scripting, which I mean I don't know, maybe, but from what I've seen of some of the clips and some videos that people have shared, the writing is kind of awful. The dialogue between characters just sounds so lackluster, or generic is one of the words I kept seeing people talk about too, or everything just felt generic between characters.
Yeah. Okay, so from what I can tell, so Morbius made, in the US and Canada, it was projected to grow. Okay, so it earned 17.3 million in one day. So it's already Morbius made more already, basically almost in one day than so far Borderlands has made predicted to make in the weekend. And Morbius also launched in a very weird time frame, because it looks like it launched. No, it's okay, yeah, weird. Okay, 39 million in the finishing first at the box office in its first weekend. So I don't know why Wikipedia says when I look at box office, it's box office must be like in its lifespan, I guess.
It could be global.
It could be global
because they always do most movies. While we'll have a report of how it did in the U.S., they always like to tout their numbers globally. So not just U.S. sales, but worldwide. Who knows? Maybe it'll do incredibly well overseas.
It could do well overseas. To be fair, that's what the Transformers movies basically did. Like, they didn't do crazy. They didn't do that well in the U.S. and Canada, but they apparently did crazy numbers in China. Like, China loved the Transformers movies, apparently. That's why they constantly made sequels. Because they dominated the theaters, apparently, in China when they first came out. That's why they kept making sequels when everyone was saying, man, these movies are bad. But the Chinese audience loved them. And I don't, yeah. So, yeah, interesting. So, yeah, that was like I said, it's a funny story. Sad, okay. I'm sad because, it sucks to see something. It's not cool. Like, I don't want to become one of those people who want things to fail, But, like, it's sad that this sucked.
Don't worry.
But, like, oh my god, guys. Like,
don't worry. They're working on Borderlands now. I'm not kidding.
What do you mean?
There's
a sequel already?
They're working. No. They're working on BioShock.
Well, no, that's been like they've been working on that for years at this point. I feel like that's been never gonna come out. Like the BioShock movie has had like 5. You're not moving on my screen, by the way, Alchem.
Am I not? Oh,
sorry.
There
you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Okay, hold on, I gotta move my thing again. Hopefully this works. It might be what I did to make sure my mouse doesn't show up on screen.
I mean, I don't see your mouse, so I mean, it worked technically.
Okay, good. I wasn't moving. I was a PNG.
It's okay, but yeah, it's the BioShock movie seems to be like from at least the last time I checked, it like changed directors like 400 billion times. Like every time I see something about it, you know. I miss the days of the Resident Evil
It's
movies.
in limbo hell then.
At least we knew the Resident Evil. You know what? Honestly, I blame the D&D movie and the Sonic movies and the Mario movie. Like, why couldn't we just go to the thing? We knew these movies were gonna suck, and just enjoy them being bad.
You want the era of Uwe Boll where they kind of just pushed out flops because they knew how to actually make it profitable.
Yeah, I don't mind watching bad movies. But now the problem is they're not just like the problem with Borderlands. I feel like, at least from what people have said, it's not just that it's bad; it's boring. You know, like it's a bad, boring movie. At least like the Resident Evil movies and stuff like that were at least entertaining, even if they were still bad. You know. And I mean, to be fair, the Resident Evil movies are basically a different thing because they basically have nothing to do with Resident Evil other than the fact that their names are Resident Evil, and they have the characters technically on strict definition. But then the Mario movie came out, the Sonic movies came out. D&D is not technically a video game, but like that is definitely like a nerd culture thing, and then they're actually decent.
Are you saying you want us to go back to the era where we had the cursed era for video game movies?
Not really, because I just think they should. I think they should just stop making movies based off of video games. But you know, they're never not going to do that because I understand money. So
I feel like they at least need to have someone hired there to make sure the source material is vaguely followed. Yes, I understand. People want their creativity. Writers want to stand out. But
it's true.
At least be somewhat reliable to the source so that you can at least have that audience come in too.
Personally, I actually think one of the best things of that is the D&D movie. I don't know if you've watched that, Alchem, but that movie is really good. If you are into D&D, there's so many like references that aren't like pushed into your face, but are like, you know, if you know, you know. It's really cool. One of my favorite things is, I don't know, how much of D&D do you know, Alchem? I actually don't remember.
Not like a crazy amount, but enough to know certain things.
One of the funny things in the movie that people realized is one of the characters, they're basically the class sorcerer. They don't really say classes, but like you can see what the characters are based off of, you know? He's basically a sorcerer. And sorcerer's magic is based off of their charisma. And he's at the very beginning of the movie, he is a really shy, awkward nerd, basically. And as the movie gets on, he gets more confident and he gets better at magic because he's getting more charisma. They never outright say that, but that's like basically you can see the development. It's really cool. And there's a lot of references. But that's a whole different topic.
Huh.
But yeah, it's yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't like, let me put it this way, Alchem. It's like, okay, I want video game movies or TV shows or anything like that to just understand that it doesn't matter how good writers think they are. It's going to be, if it's not close to what the characters already exist, don't put the characters that already exist in it, you know? Like, it's actually why I think the Fallout TV show did very well, because there's no direct characters other than like Mr. House. You know, like other than that, all the characters are TV show characters. They're just based off of things.
All they did was keep the iconic staples of like the world.
It was more like locations and stuff and like items. You know, like when they use when they use the stim packs, like, oh my god, it's a stim pack, or when that guy used Jet in the first episode. But
I mean, honestly, there could have been so many things they could have done because Pandora is a crazy ass place. There's tons of stories.
I think the worst thing about the Borderlands movie is that if it's true that it's a boring movie, then you are not using the Borderlands property enough, because the Borderlands property, the best thing about it is Pandoria. Like, or I can't even remember. Is it Pandora? Pandora. Sorry, I was using the robot name from Xenoblade. Pandora is like the best character in the Borderlands.
You literally have a giant world full of crazies.
And not just
you could have done anything.
Not just
anything.
Not just
and these
crazies.
are all people just
crazies of all kind. Like crazies that are actual geniuses, but the problem is they're crazy.
There's no way you couldn't have gone with some other story, some other character, anyone else. Tales from the Borderland did that shit.
Yeah.
It literally was doing that kind of a thing.
And that's a telltale point and click.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was a point and click, and they did it. They did it with some other characters that were they did maybe do a few cameos and stuff.
Yeah, there was a handsome Jack cameo, wasn't there, technically, in that game?
Yeah. Yeah. And yet, no, you couldn't do it. You literally were hand-fed the characters. You're pretty much just doing some little prequel story that in the end didn't even matter because, fuck it, from what I hear, nothing made sense at the end.
Luckily, Borderlands canon doesn't matter, but like, it's just, I don't know, Alchem. I'm running out of words to say how sad and disappointed I am that this movie sucks. Not because to be fair, even if it was good, I probably wouldn't watch a Borderlands movie. But that's just because I don't really care about Borderlands in that way. But like, we were finally getting to the point where video game IPs were getting actually decent things outside of video games. We're just going to ignore the Halo show. And like, but everything else was great. You know? Like the Fallout TV show, definitely the star right now. It won like, it's like been nominated like 17 times or something like that. For different things. Why are you crying? It's okay.
Hurts. It hurts.
And the Sonic movies were pretty good. The Mario movie was pretty good. There's a Zelda thing apparently in the works as well.
If Sonic 3 is ass, I give up.
I thought Sonic 3
video game movies.
Didn't Sonic 3 already come out? I thought it was already out.
No, Sonic 3 comes out later. It's the one that'll involve Shadow.
Right. That's why. Okay, I remember the Twitter freaking out when they revealed the Shadow was. Yeah, I remember all the furries exploded, literally and figuratively. And there's so many puns. There's so many darkness puns. Alchem, so many. Anyway. Now on to a story of why can't I have nice things, Alchem? So
Internet?
Why can't we have nice things? Because for once this time, because the last time I had something like this, it was in the US with the 7-Eleven thing. But this time it's only in Japan because McDonald's is having Pokemon themed Happy Meals. And I want that so badly, Alchem. I want Pokemon themed Happy Meals. And they had like the toys that like they brought back McDonald's toys and stuff like that. And I was so sad because it's only in Japan. And I'm sad because of this because I want happiness with Pokemon Happy Meals.
No Happy Meals.
I haven't even had a Happy Meal in years. But I wanted a Pikachu Happy Meal. It's a Pikachu with a like, he's got a captain's hat on it, and he's got a wheel. Like, it's just crappy plastic toys. I get it, but still, and it's already happening.
Apparently. I want it.
It's already happening because it's from August 8th to 15th, and then August 16th to 22. They're having like things because it's a Captain's Pikachu spinning water wheel, a Terrapass Pokeball watering can, a Sprigato shovel set, and a Fuecoco's Frisbee. Then there's a Qualaxy water gun, a Captain's Pikachu roller, Sprigato's telescope, and a Pokeball compass. I'm like, why can't we have that? I know, right? I'm like, why can't we have this stuff? Would I get it? Maybe. I don't think so. But I don't even have the option, and it makes me sad that I don't have the option, Alchem. And the reason that this is happening, apparently, is the McDonald's and Pokemon are teaming up because of the Pokemon Horizons, this series. The Pokemon anime, is having a new, what's it called? Arc, I guess, is probably the right word for that.
Yeah, the next. I mean, yeah, because remember, our Ash is gone. Ended,
yeah,
so
Ash is
there's
gone.
a new character. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm honestly glad that they did finally, because Ash did. I actually don't know. Did they do a time skip? Is he older now?
No, he's always canonically 10.
No. I'm talking about now after.
He's forever. No, he is not part of this series at all.
No, but I'm saying, it's
now new characters?
Well, I thought they ended the Ash story with him being older.
Yeah. No, they ended him with him finally becoming champion. He finally won.
Oh.
It took him forever.
It took him 25 years as a 10-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah. He finally did it, and so now it's another character story.
Wait, does the new character have a Pikachu?
No. That is the captain character. Captain's Pikachu. The main character has, from what I've seen, there's like two main characters. One has a Quaxley, and the other one has a Meowsker. I forget the name of the cat starter.
Oh, the green cat.
Yeah, green cat.
I think it's Sprigatito. Yeah, right. Yeah, because that's one of the toys.
Yeah, that's the other starter. But yeah, that's the main characters.
Yeah.
This time it doesn't revolve around Ash.
I mean, honestly, I'm so behind Pokemon because the new Pokemon games hurt me. Like, literally. Like, I get sick because of how badly they run. Like, I get motion sickness because of how much they lag.
Can't believe you.
It's not my fault their games run are so horrible. The 3DS engine that they still use. But yeah, I mean, that was just a small story because I saw this. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I saw only in Japan, and I nerd raged for like a good 5 minutes. So I decided to bring it up here because, you know, that's what I do here. I bring up things that make me nerd rage, kind of. But to move on, and about things making me nerd rage, have you played the new Helldivers thing yet?
No, not yet.
I am so confused, Alchem. So I am not nearly as angry as everyone else, because everyone else is very angry at Helldivers right now.
Okay, what did I miss? Let me guess. Did they nerf some weapon?
They nerfed everything. Well, basically the problem is because the entire patch is they nerfed everyone's favorite gun, basically. Like, they nerfed the slug shotgun, they nerfed the fire shotgun, they nerfed the flamethrower, they nerfed the pistol, the grenade pistol. They nerfed a few other things as well, I'm pretty sure. And then they buffed all the enemies.
Was this to make the next banner's weapons stronger or something? Or to
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. My problem is that, okay, so like the article that I found is once again talking about the like player base and stuff like that. And honestly, I'm just like, I'm so done with people talking about, because they're like, oh no, Helldivers doesn't have its 450 all-time everyday player. I'm like, yeah, no, duh. It hasn't had that for a long time, but it still has 54,000 players every day now. Instead of the almost 500,000, it has like 50,000. It's a dead game, of course.
Dead game. That's the mentality.
Yeah. And the reason I also found it is because the Power World dev once again came like responded to a tweet saying like he doesn't know what the negativity is. All 4 people seem to be enjoying it. And to be fair, the people that are yelling on Twitter and Reddit and stuff, they're the small minority probably, because, you know, everyone's just playing the game and having fun. But it's mostly the people who play like super seriously that are complaining. And I'm like, I don't play super seriously. I just don't understand why in a pure co-op game they constantly nerf things. Like, why do you guys constantly nerf things in a pure, like, balance doesn't matter, guys. Like, if you think something's overpowered, make everything around it better so it's not overpowered. Like, the reason you nerf things is because of a PvP balance. Like, I don't, and the whole game, Helldivers 2, the whole game's fantasy is about blowing stuff up and, like, doing things for democracy. Doing less damage isn't that fantasy. I'm very confused. Like, I don't understand if the devs know what their game is anymore. Like, do they understand what the community wants? I don't, well, obviously not, because they keep nerfing things. I don't know. I'm just confused, you know? Like, I don't understand the mentality of nerfing things in a PvE game. You know? It's weird.
The only reason I could ever think that, the only thing I could think of is to try to like side with them or try to at least come to understanding with them. They're trying to. There's two different aspects I can think of right now. One is more shady, and the other is more prolonging the longevity of the game. The shady one is they're going to nerf all weapons, make enemies slightly stronger in order to kind of incentivize the new banner.
Yeah.
Because people haven't been playing. People haven't gotten the in-game currency through gaming, which they did originally. When everyone was playing it constantly, you eventually built up the in-game currency. I know I did for at least 2 to 3 banners.
I did once,
but I haven't played in a while. So I'm pretty sure if I hop in and I want to play the new banner, I will not have the in-game currency. And if I do want to get those weapons, I'll have to pony up.
Yeah.
That's one aspect, and that is a shadier version, but I don't think that's.
Honestly, I don't think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't think
I trust them enough that that's not something they would do, and for the fact that, like, even if they did do that, it's like the microtransactions for Helldivers 2 is like they wouldn't even like. It's not like it's not that much money. Like, I guess I'm comparing it to like other gacha games, but like. There is no $100 bundle you can buy in Helldivers 2.
My other aspect is they're trying to prolong the game. They're trying to. Honestly, I think they could just push out new content, new enemies and stuff. But I think they did put new enemies. Yeah, but did they bring out the Illuminate already or not yet?
No, so it's not a new faction. They brought out one new enemy for each, the automatons and the.
Did they bring the whatever they're called, the Hive Lords or the big bug Terminids yet or no?
I don't. Well, there's the tentacle monster from the Terminids. It basically shoots out tentacles from you, and they brought out a bunch of stuff from. Like, there's now way more different types of tanks for the bots. There's variations of the tanks, or more so, and the really big bases.
This sounds like this is a way to just prolong the longevity of the game. So, what are they going to do? Instead of letting everyone just steamroll everything with the current playset that they've fully developed and fine-tuned, because by now everyone has found a weapon, a playstyle, a combo.
Yeah. The meta.
That they use
the meta
to
has settled.
Steamroll. Exactly. The meta.
The meta
Everyone's found their meta. And so what are they going to do? They're going to throw a monkey wrench in there so everyone can get a nice feel of like, oh, things feel slightly fresh.
Yeah.
That usually doesn't work, though. Most gamers they love the status quo.
I mean,
especially when it comes to a meta.
I honestly, Alchem, I would disagree. I think you and I are, or at least I think that point of view is thinking not enough of the casual player that isn't constantly online and like looking up stuff, because I would say I've played a bunch of quick play, and when I play quick play, I see so many different stuff. Like, people are using all the things, you know? The meta users are the people who are playing on the hardest difficulty and like grinding, which is a very small section of the player base. So like, I agree that you shouldn't like cater to those players, but like, I still just don't understand why the shakeup is nerfing things, you know, in a PvE game.
Again, they're trying to just breathe in fresh air into the game. Yes, it's going to, and it's affecting everyone.
I just think they should be
Which will
buffing
affect
other
everyone.
things.
They should, but
Okay, let me put it this way. I also, okay, I don't necessarily know if okay, let me put it this way. I don't know why the patch is only nerf. Like, why didn't they nerf and buff things? Like, there's no buffs at all, basically, from what I remember. Like, there is 0 buffs to anything. They
did
nerfed
anything need a buff?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm one of those players who stopped playing Helldivers 2 for a while. Mostly because I kind of got annoyed at Helldivers 2 for a multitude of reasons. Mostly because of I just hate how on the higher difficulties, like, you're either alive or dead. There's no in between. And to be fair, I don't even play on the harder difficulties. I play on like 6 or 7. And I'm never going to play 10. The new difficulty they added, I'm never going to play it. Like, I don't want to play it. Like, maybe when we do our thing on Wednesday, if Zeke or like Kisu really want to play on the highest difficulty.
Super Helldiver though? Don't you want to be a super Helldiver?
Not really. I mean, all the upgrades, another problem I have is that other than the fact that I do enjoy the gameplay and I enjoy blowing stuff up, like, a lot of the upgrades just suck. They're just boring, man. And like the later upgrades that you have to grind so many samples for are just boring. Like, the 10%, I need to get like 200 of one common or like 100 of something, and it's like, oh, it gives you 10% better reloads for support weapons. I'm like, you want me to get 300 or like 350 samples overall for that? Like, it's just so much work for such little things. It's just so weird.
Grind. That's the whole purpose of the game, the grind.
Yeah, I'm just
Don't you just want to grind?
No, I don't. I enjoy doing I think the thing about Helldivers 2 for me is Alchem is like, this is the best example for me of a game I really enjoy playing, but a game that I do not connect with any of the progression things at all. Like, I don't care about the progression in Helldivers 2 past buying new stratagems. Like, when I was getting all the new stratagems, until I realized that most of the stratagems are useless, and it makes me sad because I don't understand why you would make most stratagems kind of useless, because they are. But yeah, and the 500 kg bomb. It's like the best and most disappointing stratagem in the game. It's the best because it looks so cool, and the worst because it kills nothing all the time. But that's more of a personal experience thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because Helldivers 2 is like the weirdest game to me. It's like I said though, like, it's the game I enjoy playing the most, but now that I've bought all the stratagems and like I sometimes get a new war bond here or there when I get enough super credits, but I'm not buying any of the super credits or anything like that. Like, I think I bought the explosion one because I had the grenade pistol and stuff like that, which, by the way, in the entire war bond, I only use the grenade pistol. But I don't know, Malcolm. Have you? You said you haven't played Helldivers 2 recently?
No, I haven't.
Well, we're probably playing this. Yeah, we're probably going to be playing it next week, to be fair. But
yeah, sounds.
I don't know.
Actually, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because Zeke wanted to. I know that, and Kizo hasn't played the new update. I don't think yet either. But it's one of those things where I think this is a good test of the devs I think this is a great thing of it. The devs made a great game by accident and they just didn't expect this many eyes. Because like, if this game didn't have as big of a community, it wouldn't be in the news nearly as often. Because like, I don't think this would have been a problem if, I mean, saying it, no one cared is not what I'm trying to say. It's just like, I think it's small time devs being thrown into almost like a big studio watching, because like the studio running Helldivers 2 isn't ginormous. Like they're only a
No,
couple
it's
hundred, I
small
think.
team.
It's like they're a big team for a like an indie game, which they're not really because they're backed by Sony, but you know what I mean. Like they're a double A team at best, but they have the triple A gaming eyes on everyone on them because the game was so popular. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like they really need to think what they're doing, because every time it's gone to the point where it's the same as Power World for me. Power World is slightly different for me because I personally haven't played that game, and honestly, I think I'll enjoy Power World more than Helldivers 2, but that's also just the type of gamer that I am.
No, you would probably definitely would.
Because like I love
Especially
games.
now they've upgraded a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I love games like Pokemon, but the problem is I can't stand the Pokemon games. And then again, it's the game. Like the main thing is like I love Factorio, and like RimWorld and stuff like that, and that's basically what Power World is. It's like kind of like Factorio and stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll probably like Power World more, mostly because I can play Power World by myself, and games that I can play by myself are always more enjoyable to me. The games that I enjoy solo but also enjoy co-op is like great, because I do not enjoy Helldivers alone. That is an awful game to play alone.
Oh no, yeah, I agree. Solo, it is.
Solo is just straight up not fun. It's just not fun.
Yeah. No, not at all.
But what I was going for was that every time I see the like a news thing about them, whether it be from Twitter or a gaming website or Reddit or anything, when it's Power World, it's people complaining and the devs giving an answer and everyone saying, and the reasonable people that aren't just yelling to the void saying, oh, that makes sense. Yeah. The devs, I agree with the devs now, because all the devs are like just down to earth devs and they understand the frustrations of players sometimes, you know, or like all the news media are constantly telling them that their game is dead, and they're like, we're not a live service game, people. This game isn't designed for you to play for 4 months straight. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but like, you don't have to. We don't need you to play. You bought the game. That's all we care about. You bought the game and had fun. And like but the opposite is true of the Helldivers. It's just like every time one of the devs say anything, everyone's like, what? It's just not that good. Or like, it's just like every time I see anything about Helldivers 2 is a bad thing. And then I play the game, I'm like, man, I'm glad, like, everything around the game and the stats and stuff like that is so annoying, but the gameplay is still so fun for a lot of people. And the fact that they built the game on a terrible engine. And they really shouldn't have done that, because the engine is not very good and it's duct taped together. And it was overall a bad decision, but they can't take that back. But they managed to do something crazy with that engine, but there's a reason why it was an abandoned engine. It is like so weird. I don't know, Alchem. Now I'm sad. Normally I try to break your spirit, but now I've broken my spirit. It's okay. We can continue breaking our spirits by talking about Reddit, because that's a great thing to talk about, right? So Alchem, I'm going to read you this headline, and I want to have your raw reaction to it. Okay?
Okay.
Reddit CEO reveals plans to paywall new types of subreddits.
Considering I don't use Reddit at all, I'm just like, huh?
So, okay.
Isn't it a free forum kind of thing? So why would you put a paywall?
Yeah, so, wait.
People would just move on to the next one.
So let me read. So this is from Dextro. I get a lot of my articles from Dextro, actually.
Okay.
Reddit is exploring new ways to generate revenue, and locking subreddits behind a paywall is one of the options on the table, according to the CEO, Steve Huffman. Reddit today wrapped up its second earning call. This was August 7th, by the way, so only a couple days ago. Um, wait, sorry, where was I? Second's earnings call where the CEO revealed future plans for the social media platform. They revealed plans to roll out AI-powered search results this year. Great. I mean, I don't use Reddit to begin with a lot. I'm never going to use it now. Along with the idea of locking some subreddits behind a paywall. I think the existing altruistic free version of Reddit will continue to exist and grow and thrive just the way it is. It has. He said. But now we will unlock the door for new use cases, new types of subreddits that can be built and that may have exclusive content or private areas, things of that nature. You know what you know what this hilariously sounds to me?
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like YouTube's membership program. Do you know what that is? Like the YouTube membership stuff?
Yeah, I remember the YouTube membership program.
No, like the one, not the current one. The one that
I'm familiar with that.
So
isn't it the one where it's like you don't get ads and stuff?
No, that's YouTube Premium. What I'm talking about is YouTube channel membership. Like subscribing on Twitch. On YouTube, a lot of people do you can subscribe to become a YouTube member, and which is a paying monthly fee like a Twitch subscription, and a lot of people do membership only videos.
Oh, that's
or for instance, I know a couple people they have extended versions of videos. So like normally when their videos are like 20 to 30 minutes long, if you're a YouTube membership, you get like a 40 to an hour long video instead of the 20 to 30 minutes. Less is cut out basically. So that's what it sounds like to me, which doesn't sound like it's gonna work on Reddit to me because the Reddit community is like the last community. Like they barely watch ads. Let like I don't know, man. This
I'm just thinking I don't think they're gonna let it slide. They're just gonna immediately either move on or I mean I remember they tried to do something like this before and it backfired horribly on them because like everyone just kind of just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like the people who use Reddit. They did not give a shit. So I'm just like, I don't. Who gets to select this? The person who made the Reddit board, or just Reddit themselves, their moderators?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it sounds weird. It's the biggest thing to me, honestly, Alchem, is when they said the free version of Reddit. You mean Reddit?
They mean they plan to monetize it. They're planning to monetize it.
I mean, they're planning to monetize it, obviously. But like, is there like you want a paid version of Reddit, but like, I don't see the like. Do you understand what Reddit is? Like, Reddit is someone makes a post and then other people make a post, and then people make posts off of that post. Most of it is just like. Honestly, the only Reddits I know are people posting videos, like are like the React channels, like you laugh you lose React channels, or like the cringe if you lose type stuff. Like that's the only type of Reddit or like the subreddits of YouTubers and stuff like that. Like I don't actually look at other. Like I don't understand what paywall would happen with any of the subreddits. Like what subreddit would have a paywall, other than like a YouTube creator, but. YouTube creators already paywall stuff, and the last place they would do it is probably Reddit, because Patreon exists. Why would you put a paywall for Reddit when Reddit is going to take some of your stuff and Patreon exists? I'm confused, Malcolm. Mostly this is me asking you why, and I don't get it. Also, I didn't realize that they were working on a AI powered search, and that makes me want to use Reddit even less.
Isn't all like search engines trying to move on to AI kind of powered stuff?
Yeah, it's why Google sometimes is super annoying. Like every time I Google something, it gives me this AI answer. I'm like, I don't care about this AI answer. Go away. It's also wrong. It's just like this reminds me of the. It says so in this article as well, but it reminds me of when Reddit started charging developers for the API. And like so many Reddit forums just disappeared because like They're like, I'm not paying for this. And they just shut down. Yeah. It's weird, man. It's weird. Also, apparently,
like I said, everything online wants to try to monetize itself. So, like, me being the bleak self I kind of outlooker I kind of am, I already see that every single website, whether it gains moderate to huge amounts of success, is going to eventually try to monetize what they get. And because advertising doesn't work the way they thought, because advertising is selective with their audience, and sometimes some of these websites have different things that advertisers are like, no, we don't want that. They are now trying to figure out another way to do that, and how can they? Paywalls.
Yeah.
Paywalls have worked in the past. Paywalls will continue to work now. Just depends on how valuable whatever their paywalling is, and whether or not their audience or community or whoever uses their site values that whatever commodity, whatever info, image, video, whatever they're paywalling. And in Reddit's case, they're trying to paywall forums, answers, I guess, information that comes from the community itself, not from them. Which is part of why everyone is kind of confused there. Is like, your content is literally us sharing information. You can't paywall. I mean,
you could try, but it's not going to work.
It makes sense. Like, in an argumentative statement, you could say you can't paywall something that you never contributed to because everyone else is contributing to this information, but they are contributing. You could see it like, this is a room where people discuss this topic. If people want to learn about this topic, they can pay to get into this room. I can see that, but at the same time, that's not what the people who wanted to discuss that topic wanted to do. They don't want to just shut themselves off from the world and keep their information to themselves.
Yeah,
it's a weird situation. I mean, there's other factors. There's a lot of other ways to look at it.
I mean, what you just said, Alchem, is like why I'm most confused. Like, I just don't understand what the paywall be for. Like, what are you paying for? Like, also, how are you paying for? Like, is this a monthly subscription paywall type of? Like, this sounds like a monthly subscription paywall to me.
Probably.
Because it sounds like the YouTube membership or Twitch subscriber or like the Twitter Blue thing. You know, or like,
this motherfucker paid for Twitter Blue. Can't believe it.
Also, this article also says something that I'm surprised I never heard about this, because Reddit apparently struck a deal with Google. Speaking of the AI search thing, Reddit also reportedly struck a deal with Google in February, which would allow the search engine giant to use posts and comments for AI training on Reddit.
Oh, that's where they're gonna get their money.
So, yeah, and apparently, fast forward to July, the company also blocked search engines like Bing from accessing the site's posts and comments unless they signed commercial agreements. So, I mean,
they're definitely going to just sell everyone's information.
What do you mean, Alchem? They already have. They literally, in February, apparently, they sold it already.
Oh,
the Google AI is being trained on Reddit posts and comments, apparently. They signed that deal in February. Apparently, according to this article. To be fair. It could be wrong, but I mean, I guess it says something to me that it doesn't surprise me. Also, that sounds awful. Why would you want something to train off of Reddit comments? That's like the last place I would ever want anyone to learn anything. Unless it's the only way I would be okay with something training off of Reddit comments is if it's a 10-year-old post with a very obscure tech problem that I'm having. Because then it's right. And then you need to train off of that, because that's the only time I ever use Reddit. It's the only time Reddit comes and saves me, you know? What do you mean shaking your head? You know it's true. The 10-year-old post, the 15-year-old post that one person also had this exact same problem, and they fixed it.
That's what I love. Like, you have this very unique problem, or you think it's something everyone has. No one has mentioned. There's no
There's
talk about it.
literally
No search
nothing.
results. Nothing. On Reddit, there's this one post. The date is like so long ago.
It's like
probably be just when you were born.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is my one specific item, my one specific problem, that one specific issue I'm having. This person had that issue, and they solved it years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank you.
Every time I have an OBS problem, I find a Reddit post from 2012 or like from in the early 2010s, someone fixed it. I'm like, huh, interesting.
Like back when OBS was in beta or something.
Yeah.
They already had this issue and they fixed it. Still works now.
Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, I'm flabbergasted, Alchem. Flabbergasted. Because I just don't get it. I don't understand. What are you paying for? Well, now that I've learned that, why the heck do you need this paywall thing? You made a deal with Google. How do you, I mean, obviously they're a corporation, so I guess you need money. You always need more money, but still.
They need a bigger pool.
I guess so. I don't know. All right, Alchem.
Listen.
Now
that golden parachute can always get bigger. That's all.
It's true. We need that. What's the thing on Reddit called? Reddit Gold.
What?
We need more Reddit credit.
Yeah. Reddit credit. What the fuck?
That's not a Reddit thing. That's just me saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure at least.
Okay.
Okay.
I was like, the fuck did I miss? Yeah.
I have one more story for you, and it's the reason I want to tell you this, because it's not really a story. It's more of a thing I saw, and I become ancient. So I know you're older than me. I'm almost like you refuse to tell me your age, but I'm pretty sure you're older than me. So this will amuse me more as well, because I don't know if you know, but Doom and Doom 2 got a re-release recently, because they did a enhanced version to make it work even better on modern machines, which is nice of them. And they did a whole GOG release, and they basically made it so you can do like, I think it's like 4K now and stuff like that in proper resolutions. It already ran in proper resolutions, and they also gave another episode for Doom 1 for free, made by the guys Night Dive Studios, the guys who made the System Shock remake. They made another episode for free for Doom 1 and Doom 2, I think, if I remember correctly. So this game is now re-released, and it's a Doom plus Doom 2 package deal, which also apparently now I own, because I owned Doom 1, and apparently Doom 1 was being turned into this Doom 1 plus Doom 2 thing, so now I own Doom 2 twice and Doom 1 twice, which is nice. And I also get access to all the new features and stuff, which is cool. It's cool that they just upgraded me and I don't have to rebuy it again, which is nice. But the reason I'm bringing this up, Alchem, is because they brought a bunch of new people bought it that are fans of the modern Doom games, of like Doom Eternal and Doom 2016. And Alchem, the most like the on the Steam forums and under general description, many users post this question or responded to this question, because this question that I see here has 30 comments. What is DOS? When I put the game, the game gives me two options, Doom and Doom 2, also DOS. What does DOS mean?
DOS. Wait, we're talking DOS for Doom?
For Doom. I'll tell you right now, Alchem. It's DOS. They don't know what DOS is.
Oh,
They don't know
Oh,
what DOS
oh,
is
right.
because
Oh,
Doom 1 and 2 allow you to run in
Doom
original
1 ran on DOS.
yeah, it
Yeah.
ran on DOS. It lets you run on the original
Yeah.
DOS if you want to.
I mean, that's how it originally ran.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how it originally ran. And
There's
then,
a modern version of the games, and there's if you want to play the super OG game, it lets you run it in DOS, like in a DOS form. And everyone who bought the games that are new because they played Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal, didn't know didn't know what that was, and was asking people which version they should run, which made me laugh. Other people feel very old. Luckily for me, that doesn't really, honestly, it doesn't really affect me. I don't really care, but it made me laugh because I mean, to be fair to most people who needs to know what DOS is nowadays, like. Unless you're running old school games, you don't need to know what DOS is. Like,
yes, I remember the days of DOS.
Honestly, I didn't even use DOS.
I was a wee lad in my early 40s. Yes.
Yeah.
Way back when you put the big flopper in there, you just shoved it into your giant tower. You needed to crank that bitch. You needed to crank it to make sure you started it up. Back then, computers still worked on a crank.
I actually don't. Did I use floppy disks? Yeah. I don't think I've ever used floppy disks either.
You have to use those gigantic ones. Those really
laser discs.
Not those newfangled ones that they have now. The ones that are like a kind of square like that. No, it's bigger. It was bigger.
Sorry, that wasn't laser disc.
Bigger than those. There's a laser disc. What are you talking about? CDs? Those are new. Those are brand new technology. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the super old ones, the big, gigantic discs. Them were very floppy. They were called floppy disks back then. Back in the day, you just popped that bitch in, cranked the computer. You could hear that poor thing dying as it tried to calculate whatever the hell it was on that disk.
Oh God!
You could hear it making horrible, ungodly chirping, crunching sounds.
I got scared.
And then when you finally got it to work, you saw your screen turn green, light up with some text, and it said Doom. It was great. What are we talking about?
People don't know what DOS is.
Fuck, I don't know what DOS is. Actually, I just made
honestly, I was like, I'm pretty sure you're wrong on all accounts, but you know,
exactly.
The only reason I know that is because
from what I know about,
I watched a lot of documentary or like.
Yeah, basically, I was the only thing I know about floppy disks are they I know there were like these small little 4-inch kind of square discs.
Yeah,
but floppy disks were like bigger and actually floppy because it felt like it was just like a tiny thin little plastic sleeve that held a disc inside of it, and so you could basically kind of like flop it around.
Well, okay, the problem is floppy disk also floppy disk is like an overarching term I think now. It's kind of like cassette tape, so there are different types of cassette tapes, but cassette tape is like all types of things. Let me just quickly Google.
Okay.
Floppy.
Oh, okay.
Disc.
So yeah, I saw two. One is like a
like I see two.
3.5
the super there was different sizes of floppy disks.
Yeah. And there's that big, and there's one that has Doom on it.
Yeah.
I looked up floppy disk. I see
the
multiple things of normal disk, and
it's just
one
Doom.
is Doom.
Yeah. So like, there's the one you're talking about is the really big one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the one I was like, I saw that in a video.
You know what the funny thing is, Alchem? Does it tell you how big, like how much data the really big one has?
No, how much data?
The big floppy disk has 1.44 megabytes of data. That's the biggest one.
Jesus Christ.
That's so stupid. Yeah, that's so small. You know the small floppy disk? That's 100 kilobytes. Oh my God!
Damn, we went oh my God!
And now
blow someone's mind.
Yeah, with the little 2 terabyte things.
I could give them a 2 terabyte little hard drive, flash drive.
Yeah,
it would blow their mind.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Alchem, it's like people are talking about like the code and all the data used to go to the moon is now like it's like not even a gigabyte or something like that. Like it's very small amounts of data technically.
God damn.
Like a Chrome tab takes more data than what they use to go to the moon or something like that. Or that might be an over exaggeration, but like it's very minuscule comparatively.
We've come a long, long way.
I mean, to be fair, not a lot of people even know what CDs are. And the CDs are...
CDs nuts.
I was about to say, CDs are now a CDs nuts joke instead of actual CDs.
I know, yeah.
To be fair, though, my dad still buys CDs every time, and I make fun of him because of it, because he's still one of the people that buys CDs. He hasn't done it in a long time, though. He hasn't done it in, like 7+ years, but the fact that he did do it, I still make fun of him for it. Which is funny. Very funny to me. But yeah, so that was just a funny thing to me that the people running the original Doom had no idea what DOS was. Because why would you know what DOS is? I mean, one of my biggest things is why are you expecting these people to know what DOS is? Like, I know technically what DOS is. I don't actually know what it stands for, though. Like, I actually don't know if it stands for anything, and I've never used it once. Like, I don't know why I would ever want to use it. Unless I run a YouTube channel running old retro games for views. Yeah.
What the? Kelly, excuse me for a moment. I gotta go see what's going on because apparently family even though they know what I'm doing right now.
It's okay.
I'm sorry about this.
Yeah, it's no problem. So, yeah, so I don't know why they would know what DOS is. To be fair, though, I've never even played the original DOS game, the DOS version of Doom. The enhanced version of Doom is actually really nice, honestly. I would say you play it if you are interested in the old school Doom. It's very nice. Also, I recently did a playthrough of it, and it's pretty good. So other than that. Funny enough, Alchem left as soon as I was going to say that's all I had for, like, in terms of topics, and I was going to ask him if he wanted to talk about anything. But then he left, and now we're kind of just in this weird limbo where I don't have anything left to talk about other than the fact that it's, one of those things. No, it is not being cut out. This is still part of the regular show. Until we do the outro, it is still part of the podcast. But yeah, I mean, that was just funny to me, seeing people react to being old. Just leave now. Just leave. No, I won't do that to Alchem. But yeah. It's just like, honestly, this reminds me of similar of people not knowing what the save icon is for a lot of programs, because the save icon is a floppy disk. Because you're saving it onto a floppy disk for a lot of people at the time. And they just never changed the icon, and yeah, it's very funny. It's the same vibe. Actually, I'm kind of curious if Alchem knows now. I see him coming back. Alchem, you back?
Believe it.
Oh, I don't think he has his headset on. Wait. I'm gonna ask.
I now have it on.
Okay, so I was just speaking about how it would be kind of weird, for people to know what it is. So it reminded me of something. Do you remember when people were asking what the save icon was? Because the save icon is a floppy disk, and they were asking what it was. It just reminded me of that. Kind of.
Oh yeah, it is a floppy disk.
It is a floppy disk, and people didn't know what the what it was. I don't think it is anymore because it's just called save.
There's a floppy disk icon anymore.
But it was for a while. It was a floppy disk icon for a while.
Yeah, because I remember that was a conversation piece that happened. And I was like, oh, you guys don't know that. Yeah, because those things only existed like.
It was a very short-lived. It existed for it was only like 5 years, I would say, until CDs.
Yeah, and then CDs showed up. Yeah.
And now CDs don't even exist. Now CDs are just a CD's next joke.
I can't help it. It's involuntary at this point.
It's okay.
Hell, I mean, from what I remember, we did have CDs that we used to store data, and then eventually I just started to use flash drives when they came out because I was like, this is far more convenient than having a giant fucking disc that I had to carry around.
Oh yeah, for school I just always used flash drives.
Yep.
Apparently now, you know what the funny thing is, Alchem? We're old. Because they don't even use flash drives anymore. They use the cloud now.
Yeah, no. I mean,
It's just the cloud.
When I was using
why bother?
When I was using flash drives, cloud tech was already starting to be used too. But I was like, but I like having it physically here. Because when I'm not online, because I used to travel around with my laptop all over the place, and if I wasn't somewhere with online service, there was no way I could get anything. So I was like, screw that. Especially if I need to turn into paper or I need to send some kind of data. I was like, nope. I have it right here. Pop it into my, just stick it into my laptop, and just upload it to wherever I need to, or transfer it, or show it to whoever I need to show it to.
Yeah. You never trust.
Save my ass.
I just personally just didn't trust public Wi-Fi, so.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, now that the internet infrastructure has pretty much been created and stable.
Well, at least in an academic setting, I'm okay with the public Wi-Fi, but like, I'm still kind of cautious about public Wi-Fi nowadays. But yeah.
Don't you want to give them your information, Jelly? Don't you want them to know?
They already have the information. It's fine. I know they have the information.
They already know you're a little slime, and they know what you do at night.
They
know what you look at.
They know.
They know your search history.
They know.
They know my search history.
They know it.
They know unspeakable things.
They know a lot of unspeakable things. Look, I got at least 3 cameras in my room, so they know everything. You do probably as well.
They've seen everything.
Actually, 4 cameras technically.
They've seen way too much, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I know you have at least probably 3 cameras in your room.
I mean, if base stations count,
base stations do count. That's what I'm counting as well, because they're literally cameras.
They do. Oh shit!
I mean, they're literally cameras, Alchem. So, yeah. Well, if you think about it, they're just cameras. Yeah. They're slightly different, but they're cameras.
Yeah.
They're cameras by definition. They're looking.
Yeah.
Valve is always watching. Actually, it's not Valve for me. It's whatever the company that did Vive. I actually don't know what company did Vive. Are they just called Vive? I don't know.
Vive.
I don't know. Mine actually, funny enough, they might not even be able to see. Like, mine are still the first versions, so yeah.
Oh damn.
So I was also saying when you left that I was actually out of topics. As you were going, I was like, oh damn. I was just about to ask Alchem if he had anything to say as you walked away. But I was wondering if you had anything, if you wanted to. I'm like, we could end now. What was
one of the things? What were the topics we talked about today? Because there was something that I was going to talk about that you reminded me of.
The Borderlands movie being bad was one of them. Then we kind of talked about video game shows / movies in general. Then we moved to the Japan McDonald's stuff, which made me sad because we can't have nice things. And then
there was that Mr. Beast thing I was thinking about, and I'm like, no, that's a rabbit hole I'd rather not talk about.
If we're gonna do a Mr. Beast thing, that would probably have to be a whole episode.
That has to be because that would be a longer discussion. Because I'm just like,
I also don't know if I want to throw my hand in that right now.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to throw my hand in, but I'm just like, I'm so intrigued as what is happening, because this is like the potential collapse of something.
I don't think
if there's further information. There's also There's also because I did.
There's a lot of there's a lot of stuff.
There's a TV show I like that is having an incredibly awesome ARG, and it's hinting to season 3, which I am very happy about.
Nice.
This is like, I don't know if you've ever watched Gravity Falls.
I have not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I honestly, if you ever get the chance to watch a cartoon that you would like, that you just want to sit back, relax, and enjoy, that would definitely be one.
There's a lot of things that I need to watch, unfortunately.
They're currently doing a very, very interesting ARG with a website, and it's just, people are just having a blast with it. Even I have been like goofing around with that website to see what information I can dig up and stuff, and it's really fun. But nice. Yeah, that's just something that I find interesting. because it's just cool just getting to be in a community of like fans who are very into it, and we're all digging for an ARG, digging into this ARG, finding information, sharing with each other. All of you see multiple people who've gotten to the same, either they're following the breadcrumbs and they get to a certain video or a certain web page or certain image or something, and be like, you got here from this too, didn't you? And then you kind of just start sharing info and everything. It's just fun. But that's just my take on something.
Oh yeah,
something I just find interesting.
I mean, ARGs are always interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Even though honestly I've never really participated in them, I always like learning about them because I don't know. I guess I've never been as invested into something that to participate in anything like that. But it's also, but to be fair, I'm not as into like TV shows and stuff like that. So like, and video games don't tend to do ARGs. So, yeah. Because like most of the ARGs that I've heard from shows and stuff like that. I guess there is a couple video games ones. Because I guess technically FNAF had big ARGs, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
But I was never into FNAF in terms of I was interested in watching people figure that stuff out. I did not want to figure that stuff out myself though.
Yeah, one part I love, the part that I really love about this one is just to show you that everyone has to try to work together. They found out that if you type in, because so the website is, you just go to this website, there's a small little animated cartoon like computer where you can type in words and certain results pop up. Some lead you to some other site, some play some eerie music, some give you some details about the show and what's hinted to go on. But one of the craziest ones that I've seen that people were going crazy about is you type in theory or game theory or MadPat, and all of a sudden it just shows some images from it shows like those kind of conspiracy kind of boards where someone's like taking an image, putting a line together to another,
red lines,
and
with the red wool.
Exactly, and they did it exactly like that with the red wool too. And all of a sudden you see the book. This is all revolving around a book that's talking about the show and stuff that happened in the background and what's to come. Okay. You see the book in someone's hand, the book closes, and you see MadPat himself.
Oh, jeez.
he literally just tells you, hey, internet, you guys are on your own for this one. And so,
Wait, wasn't he a producer wasn't he a producer for that, though?
No, he wasn't. He's just, that's why everyone's like, oh my god, they got MadPat on this, too.
Oh, okay. Because I remember he's part of something now. He was he was a part of a huge production for something. I can't remember what though.
If he's moved on from what he was doing at Game Theory to all these other because I'm seeing him pop up in everything. I feel like he's just spreading his wings onto everything.
Well, like,
which is pretty cool.
I mean, that's what the whole idea. Like he said, he was retiring from YouTube channel, but like he's not doing things anymore. He's just he didn't want to only do Game Theory because he was doing 4 different channels, which is insane. By the way,
and
I do one channel, and that's enough for me.
Yeah, I mean that's when you make it a job. That's when you make it a job, and that becomes. I mean, he expressed how much he felt that it was such a grind. That's why he wanted to stop eventually.
Yeah.
But I just thought it's so cool because it's an ARG and the videos they were playing, and apparently the odds are incredibly slim, and it only happened to like a few people, and one person actually got the recording. There's a version of it where it plays out the same video with him saying, well, internet, good luck. You guys are on your own with this one. But then it like the video cuts a little like as if it was like distorted. Yeah. And then MadPat gets like he acts like he's like, hello? What am I doing here? It's like, wait a minute. Why am I here? Why am I part of the show now? He actually like breaks character, starts talking to the people watching the video. Everyone's just going crazy for this new information that keeps happening. So I'm just enjoying this ARG. I'm gushing about it, and it's fun. But if he's part of the show now, that's gonna be cool. That would be awesome.
The thing is, like, I remember.
That's my take.
Yeah, it's so weird. This is so weird. I can't find what he's doing now, because I know he's doing something now. I remember seeing
he's secretly part of everything now.
Yeah, like he is on the.
He's gonna make himself part of every lore. Oh my god!
Now he's just
he's
gonna,
no
he's
longer
going
gonna
to
be theorizing. He's gonna be the lore.
He's gonna be the lore instead of theorizing about the lore.
Oh, that's
the new
what an
year,
evolution.
Yeah. Okay,
but
wait.
now that was what I wanted to mention, because that I just thought so goddamn cool. I honestly can't wait for the next season when that shows.
This is so weird. I swear to God, he was doing something else. Like, I remember him being a part of something else now. But now his Wikipedia page doesn't say it, so obviously it's too recent that it hasn't been updated. Because I remember him, he's now a producer on something.
Oh, no.
I just don't remember what. Yeah. Unfortunately, I just don't remember. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Yes.
Oh, no.
One such project includes a lo-fi mystery series entitled Lo-Refi. It's a new YouTube channel. Because the reason he was leaving Game Theory is he wanted to do more creative projects that wasn't just Game Theory or Game Theory adjacent.
He has mentioned before he wants to actually be more creative with his work.
Do other things.
That makes sense.
Because, I mean, like, even though the stuff he was doing on Game Theory and all the other theory channels was very creative and stuff like that, it's like, okay, I like the food science channel. I think the movie channel is cool. I've honestly never watched the fashion channel, so I'm kind of just, like, grouping that together. But, like, they're all basically the same channel except with different categories, you know? Like, it's still basically the same video style, even though it does have their own flavor to it, but it's still Game Theory, but instead of Game Theory, it's food and or movies / TV shows and fashion, apparently. I've never watched the fashion one. I've watched the food one and I've watched the TV show one, but it's basically the same thing, which is exactly what people would want from that style of thing. So I'm like, it was a great idea, honestly. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I could definitely see where he was like, yeah, it's still a creative line of job, but like he's still doing the same thing. And the fact that he was the voice of all the channels was also insane. Like, I honestly thought he was not going to be the voice of food theorists and the oh god, what's the movie and TV show one called? I don't even know. Movie theorists? I don't remember. But yeah, I can't believe he was the what's it called? The voice of them all, along with the GT Live thing. Which he was also a part of. But yeah. Well, like I get this is a good time to end off reminiscing about MatPat. So Alchem, how about you do some shoutouts before we end off?
All right. Shout out to my mom now.
I mean, you could shout out your mom if you wanted to. I won't stop you.
No, so yeah, shout outs, I guess. Guys, my name is Alchem. I am the co-host of the Two Buds One podcast. I am the little Tanuki, who just goofs around, talks about random stuff, enjoys just hearing Jelly go on about topics, and even interjects with my own points, and just sometimes brings in random stuff myself. For those who are interested in my side of things, you can always catch me also on Twitter and on Twitch and YouTube, where you can catch me streaming. I tend to just stream and game and just have my fun. I'm trying to put more content out there and try to make more stuff myself in terms of events and stuff. So yeah, feel free to stop by and enjoy. You can always catch me on Twitter, where I either post stuff that interests me, maybe post pictures showing my latest models and for my VTubing purposes, or just simply VR chat. You can also just, well, you can, yeah, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, those things. If you ever want to support my channel so I can continue to do these kind of things and even more, there's always Twitch, there is Patreon, there is Throne, just those simple manners to do so. But the best way you can support is just simply watch, enjoy, follow, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, hello
Take it away,
everyone.
Jelly.
I am the Techno Jelly. I stream on YouTube and Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And YouTube videos go up on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays every single week. There will be actually, I'm working on getting more videos out, more of them, just 3 a week, but we'll see how that goes. I'm slowly going crazy, so it all works out eventually. I also do stuff on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and wait, that's it. Nice. Other than that, if you would like to support the podcast directly and see behind the scenes, you can go over to my Patreon at the Technojelly and give any amount of money, and you'll get the access to the behind the scenes where it is me talking to myself. This week's is going to be, I know I technically call it the unedited version. This one's going to be slightly edited because I went AFK for this one for a little bit, and I don't want to give you guys just silence. So it'll be slightly edited. I'll just cut the silence out where I went away because I had to do something. So that'll be cut because I don't want to just give it just pure silence of me just being AFK. So it'll be the slightly edited version this time. But yeah, thank you all for watching. And if you are live watching right now, the last week's podcast will be going up on my YouTube channel in about 2 hours, or 1 hour and a half. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again in the next episode of Two Buds, One Podcast. Goodbye, everyone.
Later, guys.